Welcome back to Further Thoughts. It's been a few weeks since I posted one of these videos, but as many of you know, we started posting some sermon videos and also videos from a class I recently taught on our YouTube channel. You can check those out when you get a chance. As all of you know, we're in the middle of summer and we've experienced some very hot weather. This isn't a surprise to us. I mean, after all, we do live in the desert. The good news is that the weather is going to change. As fall and winter approach, we know that the temperatures are going to cool down. There'll be many more pleasant days where we can all get back outside and engage in those outdoor activities that we love. I went on a hike recently with some friends. We had a great time and the early morning weather was pleasant. However, it did warm up significantly when the sun started making its way across the sky. Now, here's what I find interesting and worth talking about. All of us on this hike knew that the temperature was going to rise. Why did we know that? Well, we're observers of how the weather works. Furthermore, God has created this universe and our world to work consistently. We at Kingman Presbyterian Church have been making our way through the creation account in Genesis chapter 1. God not only created this universe and all that's in it in a consistent pattern, He also created it to have order. On the fourth day of creation, the Bible tells us that God put the sun, moon, and stars in the heavens to mark out times and seasons. Well, since the creation of the world, people have done just that. We've ordered our lives according to God's calendar. Ancient ships navigated the seas using the stars. The reason that they were able to do that is because of the consistency of God's creation. Now, allow me to talk just for a moment again about my hike. That's the second time I've been on that particular trail, although we did venture to a new area that I've never been to before. And while I'm on these hikes, I'll take pictures. I'm consistently amazed at the very beauty of the desert. But this is God's handiwork. You know, I've had a lot of privileges to live in various places. I grew up in the southern United States and I experienced the beaches of the Gulf Coast. I've traveled to the Appalachian Mountains and the Rocky Mountains. I've been as far north as New England. I was there in fall and saw the explosion of colors of the leaves as winter approached. I've lived in the flat area of the Midwest while I was in seminary, and I've lived in the Sierra Nevadas of California. I've seen the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean. I've stood on the shores of the Caribbean and the Mediterranean seas. And here's what I've noticed. God's handiwork all over this world is amazing and beautiful in its own way. There's such a diversity in the landscape of this world, and it's meant to show us God, and it's meant to show us His goodness. I want you to consider something that maybe you never have considered before. Think about how long the earth has been here. Think about the number of people that have lived on this planet. God is sustaining this world, and the Bible tells us that He's numbered our days, that you and I are even going to live on this earth. I'm probably just as guilty as everybody else in what I'm about to communicate. But let's ask the question, how often are we worried about something that's happening in our lives that will not matter 10 years, 20 years, or even 100 years from now? And you know what nature teaches us? Teaches us that God has this whole universe under control, this great big universe. And furthermore, the orderliness of what we see and experience should teach us that we can trust God with the entirety of our lives. We can rest in His goodness and be in awe of His power. You know, God is the greatest of all artists, and He paints the most beautiful pictures. My camera can capture moments, but it will never capture the full beauty of God's creation. What a blessing from God are all those views that He gives us to remind us always of His love and His care for us. May we learn to rest in God's good care. If you live in or near Kingman, Arizona, here's my personal invitation to you to worship with us this Sunday at either 9 a.m. or at 10:45 a.m. Until next time, may the Lord bless you.